Hey everyone, it's Nora from Nora's Arc here, and as you can see, it is a beautiful day here in southern Wisconsin. We're just in the middle of April and it's like 80 degrees, so it feels amazing. We're in zone 5A here, and this is definitely a little bit non-seasonal weather, so we're just gonna enjoy it while it lasts. But all in all, it just feels so good to be outside in the sun and in the garden. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about what we are growing in our greenhouses. So we have two greenhouses that we have set up here. One of these we got from Gardener's Supply, and then the other one we got from Amazon. And this one from Gardener's Supply was about 3 times the price of the one from Amazon, but you can also see that it is a lot bigger and it has a lot more features as well, which I'll talk about. So the one from Gardener's Supply was about $120, and then the one from Amazon was $40. And honestly, they both get the job done. So if you are looking for a smaller one, I think that one is fine. But a couple of the features that I really do like about the Gardener's Supply one is they have these little grommets, or whatever you want to call them, that make tying up the sides a lot easier. On this one from Amazon, they just have normal ties, and it sounds silly, but like it does take a little bit more time to actually put that tie up and then untie it when you want to roll them back down. The other cool thing about this one from Gardener's Supply is that it has both sides can be opened up. So obviously if it wasn't against a wall and you had like a standing raised bed, you'd be able to reach things from both sides or open up both sides if you wanted to. The other cool thing is that this one from Gardener's Supply also has vents on the top, so you can open that up and get some breeze in there if you actually don't want to open the sides up. And the one from Amazon actually has some vents on it too. So that's actually a really nice feature that you want to look for if you're going to buy a greenhouse like this. And then the final thing that was cool about the Gardener's Supply greenhouse is that it came with insect netting as well. So once it gets hot out, if we wanted to, we could keep this structure up, and then we could put on that insect netting to protect our greens from insects. So speaking of our greens, let's talk about what we actually have growing in here. In our greenhouses, we really only have cold hardy vegetables going right now, and that's because even though they're greenhouses, they're not heated, so it does still get pretty cold in here at night, and we still have some nights that are in the 30s. So right now we have kale, Swiss chard, lettuce, and onions growing in here. The first one I want to talk about is the lettuce, because I'm so proud of these lettuce seedlings. They look so good. So these ones we didn't actually start in the greenhouse, and I'll talk about that in a second, the ones that we did. But these ones we started inside underneath grow lights. And the reason that we did that is because we wanted to do an experiment where we started one tray of a plant inside underneath the grow lights and one tray of a plant directly in the greenhouse. So these are the lettuce seedlings that we started in the greenhouse. And I'll get into why you would want to do one or the other, but like I said, we wanted to do an experiment, and obviously these grew a lot faster, but with these ones, we had to harden them off. So we had to run a fan on them inside in our grow room, and then we had to bring them outside for a few hours a day and then gradually increase that time in order to not shock them from the outside. So obviously these ones started inside, they were in nice 70-degree temperatures, and we had to get them used to the outside temperature and climate before we could actually bring them outside. But now these are completely hardened off, so today we're going to be actually planting these in the ground in our greenhouse. So you might be thinking, well, those lettuce plants are a lot bigger than the ones that we started directly in the greenhouse. So why would you want to do that? And the reason is because then you don't have to harden these seedlings off. So it's technically called winter sowing. Not sure if you guys have heard of that before, but typically people will use milk jugs, and the milk jug serves as like a miniature greenhouse. So we do winter sowing, but we just do it inside our actual greenhouses. So we just started these seeds in these pots and put them in the greenhouse and let them grow. So you'll see that obviously They're a lot smaller than the ones that we started inside, but these are probably going to be a lot stronger of plants because they're so used to cold temperatures and they already were hardened off to the environment from them being seeds into seedlings. So we'll see how those turn out. I'll also show you our chard, and this is why we do experiments, because this was our chard that we started inside, and they're very leggy and they definitely need to be transplanted, but they're not fully hardened off yet. So they've got a couple more days of being hardened off before they can go in the ground out here. And these ones were the ones that we started just directly in the greenhouse. So these were winter sowed Swiss chard plants. And you can see these look a lot better. They're not leggy. They weren't reaching for sunlight, and they just seem to have a lot stronger stems. So I just say all that because we're still doing experiments, and we've been gardening for like 5 years now, because honestly, sometimes we still feel like we don't know what we're doing. And it's just like always, I say that to say like always be experimenting and trying different things, because we really didn't know how this experiment was going to turn out. And we love Swiss chard and we love lettuce, so we can never have enough of that. So that's why we just decided to do one tray in the greenhouse and try one inside and just see how that turned out. So all in all, I am really excited to get these lettuce plants in the ground today, because I am so excited to have a fresh salad from the garden. And that was one of the main reasons that we installed these greenhouses, bought these greenhouses, set them up, was because we wanted to extend our growing season and be able to have fresh salads, lettuce, greens earlier than we would without the greenhouses. And we're not going to get too hasty and take these down yet, because even though it's 80 degrees right now, coming up in the next week or so, there's temperatures that are going to be in the 30s at night. So we still want to have this up, that way our stuff can be protected from the environment. And one last thing I just wanted to mention regarding that is we have a thermometer, and actually it's called a hydrometer, that we hang in here. It's from Govee. It was like $30, and it's super cool because you can monitor the temperature on your phone. So I'll just pull it up, and what you can do is you can look on your phone and you can see the temperature and the humidity level that is in your greenhouse at any time. So that's super cool. You can just pull that up. It's powered by Bluetooth. And then the other cool thing is that you can also see like trends by week. So you can see like what was the lowest temperature that it hit in the last week, so you can monitor like when you're ready to take your stuff outside. So that's really cool. And we're not sponsored by Govee or anything, but if Govee, if you are watching this video, we would not mind being sponsored by you, because we love your stuff. But anyways, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this lettuce transplanted into the ground in our greenhouse. And like I said, we're just excited to have some salads in the near future. So if you learned something from this video today, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can see our garden as it evolves over the next couple weeks.